Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is Hany Ismail from Planning Engineer website. In this video, I'm going to answer one of our colleagues' question about the precast construction. The question has 6 points we are going to discuss, and we will go through the planning of the precast construction. The precast construction or the precast building, they have a special requirements because the sequence of work, it is a little bit different. And since I worked in a mega project precast, so I'm very happy to share with you my experience in this topic. And I'm going to tell you how to do the planning for the precast construction by answering our colleague question. So let's go and start. The first thing we have here that our colleague is asking, engineer, when I started my career as a planning engineer, I did not have any senior planning engineers to discuss my doubts, but I can see you as a good mentor to solve my problems. Thank you very much. It is my pleasure. I have received this question by email, and you are welcome. If you have any similar questions, to email me. This is my email. You are welcome to ask any questions related to the planning, and I will do my best to answer all of them for you. So let's go and start the first question. Okay, measuring the erection or measuring the erection activity by piece. Is it the correct method to measure the progress when in the BOQ the UOM or unit of measurement is a square meter, while the schedule cost loaded as per the BOQ? So we have here the quantity of the precast, okay, is per square meter. However, the manufacturer is will be by piece, and this is common problem. How you are going to measure the precast progress, and what is the relationship between the installation and the previous steps? I have prepared a very simple schedule showing the precast with dates, and this will be our base to make all our planning requirements. So you might have this portion on your schedule for the precast, or you might have only the precast schedule, but I prefer to work in Excel. So I'm going to open the Excel sheet, and I'm simply going to copy this data and start from this point. So here I have the activity ID, activity name, original duration, start, finish, and this is all I need for now. Okay, now I can have here the BOQ quantity, okay, and I can have, let's say, BOQ unit to make it more clear, meter square for all of them. Okay, then I have here BOQ unit, and let's say we have here 200 square meter, 300 square meter, 250 and 400. Let's assume this is our BOQ units. Okay, and now we need to have a link between the BOQ unit and the pieces. We can add here a new column, manufacture unit. Okay, so here will be by piece or by number, and we can here have manufacturer quantity, and you need now to ask your whether manufacturer team or you ask your construction team how many pieces for this apartment. Let's say you are talking about apartment number 1. You can divide it by floors, you can divide it by whatever you want, but we need to know how many pieces you need or you have for this type. Let's assume that we have here 2,000 pieces, here 3,000 pieces, here 2,500, here 4,000. So now we have the pieces, because you are going to monitor the productivity of the fabrication by these pieces. And this will be in the second equation, as I remember. But here we have now a link between the BOQ quantity and the manufacturer quantity. Going back to your questions, question number 2, how to determine the duration and the load resources in the schedule while productivity data output pieces and BOQ in square meter. Okay. Here, I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, now we need to know the maximum productivity per day. So the erection, we can here add a new column, erection number or piece per day. Okay, regardless of your quantity in the BOQ, it is 200 square meter. We don't care now. We will care about the how many pieces you can install per day. Okay, if you have the production per square meter, okay, no problem, you can use this one. So let's say we can erect about 100 pieces per day for this apartment type. By the way, if you have different pieces size with different productivity, you can segregate them as here we can add a new row, and you can add how many pieces you have, how many types, how many sizes, if you have different productivities. But for now, we'll assume that all of them are the same. Okay, so here we have 100 pieces per day. Now, how many days for erection? Required days for erection. Simply, we will divide the pieces by the productivity, and we will have here how many days we want. Okay, as you can see, we have here different days. We need here 20, we have here 30. We need here 30, we have here 30 also. We have here 25, we have here 30, we need here 40, we have here 30. So this is now more accurate. You can go back to your Primavera schedule and start changing the duration to the accurate duration. We can have here 20, 30, 25, and 40. This is our first impact, okay, to the schedule we created. I can copy this one again, and I'm going to paste it here because I need only this data, because I will need the dates later on. And this is what I have here so far. So now I have the same duration in my schedule as being required for erection based on the productivity. Let's go back to see what was the third equation. The third equation, in the precast, measuring the erection activity is sufficient or need to measure casting of hollow core joints, grouting, dry backing, blah, blah, blah. Definitely, the erection is not only the activity we are monitoring when it comes to the precast. The precast has different stages. We have to prepare the model. We have to make sure it is casted. We have to make sure it is cured. We have to make sure it is delivered to the site. So if we go back to our Excel sheet, we can do all of these in our Excel sheet in order to monitor all the stages. It is not enough to monitor one stage only. You will definitely face a problem. Okay, so let's go back. Now we have here is days, and we have here the dates. Okay, so we can start from delivery to the site. And since we have here a huge amount, okay, we cannot deliver everything way ahead of time. Let's say we are going to deliver the apartment, one precast panels, okay, 2 days only before we need it. So simply, I'm going to the start date, and I'll make -2. So this is the date required for the panels to be delivered to the site. But in order, before delivery to the site, it should be cured. So I can make here curing, okay, and I'll make here, let's say curing finish 1 day before the delivery, okay. Now curing start, let's say it will be cured for 6 days, so I'll make -6. Now we can have here panels casting. I need to be casted 1 day before the curing, -1. Okay, you can now add as many stages as you want, but for here, let's make model or model ready. This is the model they cast for it. Maybe 1 day before the casting. You can add as many stages as you want, but you need, it is not model, it is mold. Okay, mold to be ready. You need to have all these stages monitored, and if you have a huge project, you should monitor it 2 or 3 times per week. Like here, do you have your mold ready for apartment type A? We need to be ready by 9 July. Now we are in 6 July, so in 3 days time, you need to get this one ready. Now, in the, for example, panel casting, I'm expecting now you are casting these panels in this date. But for example, how many panels we have? How many pieces we have? Okay, we have 2,000. But are you going to cast 2,000 at the same time? What is your maximum capacity of casting? Let's say they can cast now 1,000 panel per day. So this is the finish date of casting. It means this casting finish date. You can add here panel casting start date, okay, and you can add here let's say casting productivity. Let's say you can cast, let's be reasonable, you can cast 500 panel per day, okay, and make this one as a number. You can cast 500. This could be changed according to the type. Again, maybe apartment number 1, they can cast 500, but apartment number 2, they can cast only 400. That's why we made a column for it. Okay. So here now, we can have how many days we need for casting. Okay. We need here, this is the quantity. I'll divide it by the productivity, and I'll make it like this. We need 4 days. Okay, now the start date should be, I'll make this one into brackets. The start date should be the finish date minus the dates required, and in that case it should be a date. And now I need to start the casting on 6 July. In that case, I need to have my mold ready by 6 July. I change the formula to this date. Now I can monitor the casting start date based on the quantity as per this Excel sheet. You might ask yourself, can't I do all of this in Primavera? The short answer is no, you cannot. It is better to have it in details in Excel, because after you do all your calculation, okay, you can now hide some columns and send this table to your precast factory. Tell them these dates will be monitored. Please be sure that you will going to follow. Okay, the fourth question. Precast construction, determining the logical relationship between two activities is difficult because the sequence frequently changing based on the site condition. Very good question. Now, you did your Excel sheet, okay, and you have the dates, right? Let's say, let me share my screen. Let's say you have some changes in the priorities. Let's say you decided for some reason you are going to start apartment 3 before apartment 2. Simply, when you change the dates here, okay, you can do whatever it changes in Primavera. After you finish it, you paste it here. Whatever it changes you made here, all your production monitoring will be changed accordingly because we made an Excel sheet based on our calculations. So yes, construction projects, we all know it is dynamic, it is involving changes. So we are expecting changes. That's why we need to have our monitoring sheet flexible. Whenever we change the start and finish dates, all the relevant dates will be changed automatically. The fifth question is asking what is the best method to track the productivity of finishing activities because duration varies depending on the size of the villa and the apartment building. Same what we did in the panels. You have some dates, you might already have some fixed date for all type for apartments and villas. But when it comes to the accurate monitoring, it should be based on the productivity and it should be based on the quantity. So same what we did in the precast panels, you need to do the same for the finishing item. For example, if you have painting for Villa X, and you have the productivity, you have the quantity, you can estimate how many days. And by the way, sometimes we create our baseline and we think that we cannot change it. No, you can change it, improve it, even if it is approved from the client or the consultant. Maybe you can update the client or the consultant, and if they said no, it is approved, we need to stick to it, make a new version for yourself. This is baseline will be more likely to happen. It has the most updated information, and you can keep monitoring your productivity and the activity by doing this. I am a big fan of the Excel monitoring because it's flexible. As you can see, we take the Primavera, the advantage of the Primavera. We have the scheduling advantage. Okay, we have the dates. So we can take this one and make further schedules on Excel. The last question we have here, when assigning the resource for activity, either man hours or quantity is distributed evenly between the given dates, while submitting the histogram in Excel in order to maintain the level even manually. Okay, who said so? We can tell the Primavera to change the productivity. Let me show you. Okay. So this is our schedule, okay? Let's say we're going to add here in the resources, I'm going to add one resource. Okay. I'm going to add, let's say, carpenter. And budgeted units, I'm going to make it at 3,000. Okay. Then I'm going to add it here again. And this time I'm going to select all the other 3 activities and add the same carpenter. And I'll put the units as much as I calculated, no problem. But the question is, or the question was, Primavera will distribute this one in equal ways, okay? If you go to the resources, let me show to you. This is our resource, okay? Now we need to go to the resource assignment. I'll remove this filter to show all my resources. Okay, now you can see here, let me show the quantities, yes. That every week is almost the same quantity of my resources. But the good thing is, I have here 450. I can change this one to 400 and increase the 50 here to make it 500. So you can bypass the Primavera distribution and you can do your calculation and you can simply add it. Simply go to project, resource assignment, and this is a resource assignment. You can click on whatever activity you want, and you can bypass the distribution of the Primavera if for some reason you need to do so. So I hope you find this video useful to you. You are welcome to send me your questions. If you have any comments regarding this video or anything not clear, you are welcome to comment, and I'm going to reply your comment. Thank you very much.